You see, Mother? I perambulated around the outside of my dorm room building, aiming the image capture at the structure. I will be safe within those walls. The best of our technology and human insulation materials have been used to ensure that the internal temperature never rises above safe levels. There is even a dedicated power plant on site, just to make certain I never have to worry about fluctuations in the local power supply. And progenitors, the tour I had gotten of that power plant had been very interesting indeed. Humans casually walking past areas my suit was flagging as dangerously hot even for them. If I had eyebrows, they would have been permanently raised. On the way out, I had requested a copy of the safety regulations for installations like that. Humans might be infinitely hardier in high temperatures than us. Their mere existence this close to their primary was proof of that. But they were in no way immortal or impervious to harm. And as they would be working to keep me safe, I wanted to make sure the same applied to them. The information in the booklet I was given, after I finished admiring the texture of the paper it was printed on, was both comprehensive and educational. Yes, humans could be harmed by inattention to detail or mechanical failure, but mere protective clothing and hard covers for their feet and brain cases serve to dramatically reduce the possibility of serious injury. Also, it is hard for them to suffer injury from radiated heat. Water, to us a rock, is to them a means of automatically cooling themselves down when in danger of overheating. Ironically, liquid dihydrogen monoxide is a horrifically caustic agent to us, as well as being dangerous just from its temperature. Just another reminder of the extreme environment I had volunteered to experience for a local solar orbit. I would still be wary of doing anything that exposed humans to potential injury, but it was comforting to know how resistant they were to being harmed. Humans were nice. At least, I liked the ones I had interacted with, and I was willing to give the remainder of the population the benefit of the doubt, until I met them personally. But are you certain? On the screen, Mother twined her tentacles together unhappily. She only twisted her upper right with her lower left like that when she was particularly agitated. It looks very small. Will you be comfortable in there? I could hear what she was actually saying, although she was not speaking the words. Would I be happy on Earth, away from her and my siblings? It is suitable to my needs, Mother, I assured her. I will only be spending my rest periods in there, and any time my suit requires recharging and maintenance. There is a screen for interacting with people outside. I have met a few of my fellow students already. They seem to be accepting of my presence, although that may simply be curiosity. The two girls and the boy, I was reasonably sure I was correctly identifying the body shape-related gender markers correlating with clothing and hair length, had approached me while I was wandering around the campus making sure I knew the layout. I had Sergeant Harris of my security detail with me, armed with a pistol on his belt, but he allowed them to approach after I said I wanted to speak with them. Hello, I said. I am Thwicka, but I suppose you know that already. I found it amusing to be introducing myself when I was literally one of the only two members of my species on the planet. If anyone knew anything about us, they knew my name, and my father's as well. Hello, Thwicka. The girl who spoke was tall, as far as I understood the relative heights of adolescent humans, and had straight black hair. She looked at me dubiously, if I were understanding the expression correctly. You speak English very well. While she could see my face, I did not think she would recognize my expressions for what they were, so I made a gesture of happiness with both my upper tentacles. Thank you. I have been learning it all my life. In addition, my heat suit has an automatic translator function for any words I have difficulty with. Wow. The boy wasn't as tall as the girl and had hair redder than the red spot on their gas giant. Is it true your father and Lieutenant Commander Hernandez were doing spacewalks out around Jupiter, and they fought some Tanarak together, and that's why we ended up friends with you guys? I had to laugh, but I put my tentacles up so I would not offend them. I am sorry. No, that is not the case. It seems people are conflating the incident that happened on Phas Reap with the first contact. From what my father has told me of the actual first contact, they did not meet physically until somewhat later. And that was with telepresence robots. It is a good story, however. I would not be surprised if someone made it into a movie. I had watched some Earth movies. The stories were beautiful, if a little puzzling at times, and had greatly assisted me in understanding human culture. The shorter girl, whose hair was a confusing mix of gold, blue and green, jabbed the boy in the midsection with her elbow. "Doofus," she said, and I wanted to giggle. I had encountered this word before, but this was the first time I had heard it used in the wild, as it were. "I told you that wasn't what happened." She turned to me and knelt down so that we were roughly at the same height. "Sorry about Francis. He believes literally everything he reads online. So, I'm Eva, and the beanpole is Jess. Is Thwicka what you like to be called, or do you have another preferred name?" "It is good to meet you, Eva." I filed away the word beanpole for later reference, assuming by process of elimination that she was referring to the tall, dark-haired girl. My given name is much longer, but the phonemes involved in saying most of it are not available to the human larynx. So, just as my father is Saduk, I am Thwicka. May I ask a personal question? She grinned at me. Serena had carefully explained to me the difference between a smile and a grin. "Sure, go ahead. I might ask one or two back if that's okay. I will be happy to answer. But how does your hair produce those colors?" I was led to believe human hair shades ranged from white through blonde and reds and browns to black. Jess chuckled at that, and Francis made a curious snorting noise which I took to be stifled laughter. I knew immediately I had said something amusing, so I waited to see what it was. Ava gave them both a severe look. I had seen this expression on Serena's face occasionally, when father was being especially flippant, and rolled her eyes as she turned back to me. My eyes are not designed to do that, but again, I recognized the facial gesture. "Sorry about that," she said. "They're both idiots. I'm guessing nobody's explained hair dyes to you yet?" "They have not, no," I confirmed. "From context, this is an artificial color you apply to your hair." The subject of hair itself was weird enough. As far as I understood it, each hair follicle was akin to a separate organism attached to a human skin, gaining nutrients from its host and simply growing a single strand of hair. And humans have thousands of them, mainly for the purpose of staying warm. It is no wonder my species never developed it. Of course, only humans would, in the understanding that most people around them have a different hair color to them, would want to change their hair more. Because that is humanity all over. They are weird and funny and illogical, and I like them for it. "That's right, yeah," said Ava. "I'm guessing you guys don't do tattoos either." "No, that is something we also do not do," I agreed. "Our bodies work on fundamentally different principles to yours. Introducing an opaque ink through the dermis can permanently affect many things about us, including the operation of our neural web." We've got a nervous system too, you know," offered Francis. "We're not that different to you guys." "Yes, you do," I said. "But we do not possess a spinal cord, as you do. While our brain cases contain the essential seat of our consciousness, much of our thinking takes place throughout the neural web. The neural activity is visible through our dermis as flickers of light. After father lost 2 tentacles, he had to relearn a few minor skills." "Oh, okay." Francis looked as though he wanted to ask more questions, but a glance from Ava. Human eyes could be so expressive, if one watched carefully. He closed his mouth again. "How protective is that suit you're wearing?" asked Jess. "Is it true you're from a place that's really cold? I mean, super cold? Do you have to wear the suit, or is it just for comfort?" See Part 2.